And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, February the 25th, 2023. Season 17, episode number 7. I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
And welcome into the show, everybody. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. You can check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can also find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You can also find us on Facebook there as well. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. We're streaming on the cam right now. And you can find us on twitch.tv. Go there, search for In-Game Chat. You'll find us. You can watch us, join in the chat room live while we broadcast. Also, join us on Discord as well, as we were having phone issues. It just happened on Friday. It happened after I left.
Typical.
Well, they were working fine that morning, and then apparently they, didn't work.
Went their own way, huh?
At some point, middle of the day, I think. Oh, I know actually what happened. They were doing construction at the end of the street, and I think hit a line or something. So, like, most of this block, no phones. Okay. Supposed to be fixed, probably maybe during the show or by Monday, at least I know.
Keyword, supposed to be.
Supposed to be, but, we'll see. Anyway, welcome into the show, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and let me clap this thing real quick so I can... Well, there we go. That was stuck. So yeah, we'll do that.
Yep.
Anyway, welcome in to the fun again. As we talk about, I didn't play anything. Just to normally just jump in there. What have you played? Destiny. That was it. I haven't played anything. I really haven't. And Destiny has just basically been running my alts through some stuff to bank some bounties.
Mm-hmm.
This morning, I ran some things I don't normally run just to get some drops out of them, and that was it.
What you looking for, though?
I mean, no, I was just getting red border. I mean, there wasn't anything specific I was looking for.
Oh, okay. No.
It was just like, hey, I haven't run this in a while. I got time to do it. Run it. It's going to drop something for me. I'll get a weapon pattern out of it. Mm-hmm. Good. It may not be the one I want, but it's a movement in the right direction on anything.
Right.
So why not just do that? And then I ran the dungeon again, trying to get the one clothing item that's left for me. Not that I care about it, as far as only in a cosmetic aspect.
Yeah.
In other words, it ain't going to serve me any purpose as far as what it rolls, how it defends, or I don't care. The numbers I don't care about. I just want it so that I can turn it into a cosmetic item that I can put on any piece of armor that I wear. I can turn it into that. Damn thing still hadn't dropped.
Yeah.
So
Well, that was the thing for me when I last time I played Destiny was having my old armor back that would actually scale up as I went up, because if they're discontinued or in their, I think, what do you call them, sunset?
Yeah. See, can you? I hate to tell you that. Can you move that mic in? Can you put it more? It needs to be in front of you. Yeah.
This was never an issue when it was on the right side.
I know, because we moved it. Mm-hmm. So that's all.
Is that sensitive?
I could definitely. It sounded like you had some echo or something. It wasn't picking you up directly.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
You're good now.
Well,
you're good.
All right. Well, anyway, like I said, you called it sunset, right? when it was not going to, it wasn't, no matter what you did, it wasn't going to go up in level or power, no matter what you do.
Right, yeah, they've sunsetted the weapon. They've stopped that. They're not doing that anymore.
Oh, they're not?
Oh, no, that's stopped. I mean, they didn't go back and fix what they had already sunsetted. They just stopped doing it. Oh. So they're not doing it anymore.
Okay, so Song of Justice is still going to be stuck at where it's
I guess if that was done back then yeah.
Yeah, okay, well. Anyway, one of the sets of armor that I had, the Karak armor, I just liked the way it looked. And I had like 3 or 4 sets depending on whichever element I had. Arc, solar, or stasis, or void, or whatever. I had a set for each one. But it was always the Karak 2 armor. Yeah. So being able to make any set of armor I get look like what I had before, that was always a good boost for me because I always liked the way that thing looked.
Yeah, they can do that now. They've got that to where you can do that now to... but you have to obtain it first.
Well, yeah. Well, since it's an old piece of armor, it can always be picked up in the archives. Just give you some legendary shards, and there you go. You got it.
I guess so. Yeah. I don't know. From what for the way that I've always had it in my head was that you can pick it up after you've obtained it. In other words, if you obtain the armor, dismantled it, got rid of it, whatever, then you could go back in your collections and pull it again if you wanted to. But you still have to obtain it first. You have to own it first, then you can pull it. And that's my problem. I don't own this piece yet. I've got to have it drop first. Yeah. Then I can do what I want with it. But it still hasn't dropped. It's the whole cowboy themed and
the new stuff. Yeah, the new stuff. Yeah.
For the other 2 classes. It's part of your helm. It's part of your helmet. You know, if it drops, you get the cowboy hat because it's your helmet. Yeah, doesn't work that way for my class.
Which is what?
My class has to be my cloak.
Oh, hunter.
Yeah.
Bucket. Oh, that's right.
So if I get my cloak, then I get my cowboy hat. It's the stupidest thing.
You get a hooded cape.
Yeah.
So you have to get the
class item.
Class item.
Yeah. For Titans, it's that little towel thing
sash.
That hangs out.
Titans is a sash.
For warlocks, it's the armband, and for hunters, it's the hood. It's the cowl. And what they've done is they've made the class item the rarest thing to drop out of all the armor pieces. The legs, the chest, the arms, the head, and then the class item. Class item's the rarest drop. And that's where my cowboy hat is. And I want my cowboy hat, man. It's a good look. I like it.
Yeah.
And I want my cowboy hat. So
another issue for trading in Destiny.
Yeah. I mean, as far as a cosmetic thing, they should just at least let me grab it and do it. But again, it's a status symbol. It says, "Hey, I've done this," and "Hey, I got lucky enough for this thing to drop for me when I did it." So
right.
But yeah, I'm like, I'm not. I don't feel too bad about it. I haven't run that dungeon enough to really complain that it hasn't dropped enough, and the fact that it's going to be around next year and I can continue to run it if I really, really want to. But
look, as often as you play it, you're going to get it eventually.
I mean, I'm sure. So, yeah. I'm sure, and it is. That's all I played was Destiny, and not, like I said, not even a lot of that. Tomorrow I'll play some more, but it'll mostly be housekeeping things like cleaning out my vault, picking up things on my alt characters that I have to just to finish out the season and be ready for Tuesday when Lightfall drops, because the servers are going down tomorrow for 24 hours. So we'll be able to play anything tomorrow for Destiny. So yeah, I'll just do that tomorrow or Monday. It's going down for 24 hours. So anyway, that's all I played. I've looked at some things because Steam's doing a mystery fest right now, and there's sales going on. Curse of the Obra Dinn, which I don't have, and I would like to because that's been on sale that hasn't been on sale. It's been around for a while. Same guy that did Papers, Please.
Okay.
Is doing Curse of Obra Dinn. There is the Jade Idol. I can't remember what it's called. Curse of the something in the Jade Idol. I don't know. It's all mystery type things, and it's all fun little puzzle type games. And so I'm really, interested in those. That's going on right now. But I haven't played any of those. I have only grabbed those. I was playing Marvel Snap before we came on the air here. In fact, while our music was playing, I was wrapping up a match in Marvel Snap. Not really doing much with that. I used to chase the rankings in that. I don't do that anymore. I do my daily missions of play this many cards or win this many matches or, whatever the little stipulations are. Mm-hmm. I'll run through those and then I'm good.
Yeah.
And I'll check and see if a new card is dropped that I may want to purchase. And when I say purchase, I don't mean with real money, because I still stand defiant that I will not give, and I don't know why I'm that way, that for whatever reason, I have come to think that if I download a game on my phone for free, then I'm not going to pay anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if I got you for free, I'm going to keep you as free. I'm not going to put money into you. And I don't know why I'm so adamant about that. I guess maybe because I feel like it's a slippery slope to nickel and dime type of situations where it could be a thing. I don't know. I've been tempted because you get cards whenever you pay. It's not a pay to win, but you get some cards. So yeah, but I still will not spend money on that thing. I just won't. I won't. I'll just let the collection do what it does and build it up the natural freeway, I suppose. I don't know. It's not a big deal to me.
Look, it's all about convenience, and we know the free games all have the nickel and dime aspect to it anyway. They got to make their money somehow.
Yeah, Lethal Migrant says, I'll buy battle passes if they're $5 or less. They're not. Battle pass, but these are $10 a month. Basically, from what I've gathered playing this thing as I played it, each new season, if you want to get the new card that's introduced or whatever else comes with it, it's $10
a month.
Because next month that card that they offered this month will go into the rotation next month, but they'll have something new next month. And if you buy the $10, you'll get that card, a variant of that card, a couple of other things that come with it, and it's $10. Every month they have something different. It's $10.
That's a short season.
It is. It's 1 month. That's it. Yeah. Well, of course, that's how they monetize. Yeah, they're making the money that way, man.
Said that, yeah.
They know how it goes. But my thought on that is, and I was just thinking, I don't know if it was here at work or something. I don't know if I was sitting at home. And I was looking at the pricing, and I was hitting the button, and like $10, okay, because $9.99 is that's not bad. $10, you know. And I think about it, and I'm like, man, you may not even play this come a month from now, or you may have a point where you stop playing it altogether, and you're like, how much money did you put into that thing? Even at $10, I'd probably be, all right, you just out $10. But if I continue to do that month after month. If I look at message boards of people who are doing these things and how much they've been putting into it, because I think that's where it happened. I was reading some message boards for the game, and somebody piped in and said, "This game is not healthy for me. I'm going to quit. I'm going to uninstall it, and I'm going to quit. You guys are fine for keeping on playing. If you want to, that's fine." But he just had some realization that this thing was not healthy for him individually with life and everything else, of how much time he was putting into it and that sort of thing. And I started thinking, wow, this guy's put in a whole lot of time with this thing and probably some money with it too, and now he stopped playing. Well, there's your 50, 60, whatever it is you've been spending on this thing. Not to mention, like, if you pay the $10 for the pass, that's one thing. There's other ways in there that you can spend money.
Yeah.
Real money. So I don't know how much that people have spent on it, but I just think about when I stop playing it, how much have I put in? Now, to think about that in the sense of, well, how much money have you put into Destiny? Well, lots. A lot. But I also feel like I've gotten...
You got your money's worth.
I got my money's worth. I put $60 into God of War. I felt like, yeah, okay, that served me for a good many months, and the experience was well worth it. Yeah. This experience, this thing on the phone here, I mean, you really got to continue playing in order to benefit from what you just purchased. Because sometimes the deck you build with the new card you got doesn't work, and you want to build a new deck around it and to try and do that, or maybe it does, or maybe it doesn't. The meta changes month to month as to what it is that gets used. And so it's just one of those things of, I don't know. I'm trying to rationalize it. I don't think I need to rationalize not spending money on a game at all, or even spending money on a game. I don't really think I have to rationalize that. Just as anybody else doesn't have to do it for whatever they do. When they spend it, it's completely up to the consumer themselves as to if they want to do that or not. So Fine by me. What have you played? Because I just took 20 minutes to babble on about playing one game that I barely played. So what have you played?
2, actually.
Yeah.
Destiny and Snap.
I know. Doesn't count.
You played it. It counts. Yeah. Still doing the standard fare with Warframe and Virtua Fighter 5. Had to do a little training, actually, for Virtua Fighter 5 this week. There was an aspect of a match that I had, and it was something that got to me. You fall for a move over and over and over again. I kept falling victim to the same move over and over again. Mm-hmm. And I've said it before. If someone has a tool that keeps working, they're going to keep using it. So until I find a way to deal with it, it's just going to keep on coming. So I had to spend some time in training mode to get used to this thing. I was trying to find all the ways I could deal with this one technique that kept giving me losses. So I think I've got some tools I can use to counter now. And I won't be able to test it until I get some more online matches in. So that's what I'll be continuing to do with VF5. Outside of that, finally finished building my clan's dojo for Warframe. So any of my clanmates who are listening, we can run around free now and build some stuff in there again. Mm-hmm. So we finally got that up and running.
Still can't connect with anybody, right?
I haven't tried since the last time. I mean, we just couldn't connect with anybody's name or whatnot. So yeah. Other than that, played a little bit of Grand Theft Auto 5 online. There was some new content put in there. I think Los Santos Drug Wars. Basically some new ways to make money. Mm-hmm. Basically, so I can give those a shot. Looks to be some pretty good ones actually. Something that you can do relatively easily, relatively quickly. You can keep yourself occupied with other things going on in the city while you wait for the cooldown to happen. You can do it again. And just lather, rinse, repeat. Not have to deal with griefers as much.
Right.
Not really. Then, just for the heck of it, speedrunners.
Hey!
I was playing it on the on PS4. I remember I still had that from the PlayStation Plus free giveaway, and I started using that, and I'm like, okay, story mode. And I was looking for my character, the Falcon. You called him Chicken Man.
Yeah. I called him Chicken Man. Yeah,
but he wasn't there because I had to. You have to unlock him through story mode. So yeah, I had to play through story mode to finally get everything unlocked in there.
God, I haven't played that in forever.
But you still remember it. It was
of course I remember. We used to play it after the show here.
Yeah.
Because I had my PC up here, and we just hook it up to the TV and we play and stream it. God.
Yep.
That was that was fun. Those are fun.
Yeah.
I miss my speedrunners. And you're playing on what system?
PS4.
PS4. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that has crossplay now. PC and console or whatever. I don't know that it does.
I'm not sure.
I wonder if they still support it. I wonder if they've added any new maps or anything. It's been forever. Yeah. Probably. I think they're done. I don't think they're adding any more characters or maps or anything like that.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Says no crossplay.
No crossplay. Okay.
Yeah, but it does exist on multiple platforms, but no crossplay. Wait a minute, but that response was from 2018. Let's see. Wait a minute.
Well, I'm curious though. When you say crossplay, I'm curious if PS5 can play. Like if I'm playing it on PS5, I don't even know that I can play it on PS5. But if I'm playing it on the PS5, can I play with you on the PS4?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's good. I have no idea. So,
Speed
runners.
I'll find out one day.
Man. I need to go back in my library and look at some stuff. Not that I got time to play anything because, it'll be Destiny again come Tuesday. So.
Yep, Lightfall and everything, right?
I mean, my God, do you see that? I mean, the marketing push on this thing has been they released the trailer was earlier this week or no, the trailer was during the State of Play, which we got to cover.
Yeah.
We got to cover the State of Play, if only to cover the Suicide Squad game from Rocksteady.
Mm-hmm.
If only to go over that, which we've gone over before, and all our fears have come true, I suppose. Or I say our fears, but all the things we thought were going to happen actually did happen. As far as that game is concerned, it turned out to be... I don't know. We'll get to it, because we got to take a break here in a minute. Point being is that, look, Rocksteady have done 3 very, very good Batman games. They're staying in that little Arkham-verse, Batman-verse, whatever that is. Mm-hmm. Vaguely, they're staying in it. They keep saying they are, but I think that's just marketing so that so that it works on me that, okay, they're still doing this sort of thing. Point being, they've done 3 good games, really good games. I will give this game a shot somehow, be it through a rental or if it's on Game Pass or if there's some way that I can try it out, put some time in it. Because I feel like, I feel like they can get that pass for me on that. They've done really good so far. So let's just see. So far, everything that I've seen, I don't care for. I don't want. I don't like it. I wanted badly to, but I know. And so, but I'm still going to give it a shot because maybe there's, I
was about to ask, if nothing in there seems to appeal to you, why force yourself into giving it a shot?
Because who knows? Maybe something clicks, who knows? Monster Hunter was not something that was ever, but I tried it.
Yeah.
And put I put a good bit of time into it, more than I thought I would, but it's still eventually I hit the wall where it was like, this ain't working for me. The loop's not there.
Yeah, we're in the same boat on that one because I played it because of all most of my friends were playing this game and having a blast with it together.
Which one are you talking about? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But the problem was most of the time I played the game solo, and playing it solo, it gets old quick because the hunting aspect was a real downer for me, basically. It just wasn't exciting when it was playing it solo.
Yeah.
It's been one of those games that's meant to be played with friends and partners.
Mm-hmm.
But
this has got online. It's got co-op. Mm-hmm. It says 4-player co-op online, cross-platform. We can play with everybody. Can play with everybody else. Yeah. If you go in solo, then the AI takes over the other 3 characters, and I'm not sure that it's confirmed that you can jump around to different characters. In other words, play one character, and you're like, you know what? Let me jump over and play the other one, and you can just immediately switch, kind of GTA-like.
Right.
I don't know that that's there. They mentioned it, but they weren't specific on it.
So no details on that.
Because you could have taken the wording that they used as, yes, you can switch during gameplay, but you could also take the wording that they used as, oh, I'm not doing too great with this. Let me try with the other character. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that relates to, let me start this again with the other character, or let me just on-the-fly switch.
On-the-fly switch, yeah.
Don't know if that's going to be in there or not. Folks in the chat room are mentioning Redfall. That also... Arcane, again, has done really well with their games Dishonored, Prey, Deathloop, I guess, maybe, a little bit. I didn't play that one, but Deathloop looked a lot better than what I'm seeing with Redfall. Redfall doesn't look, I don't want to say it looks bad. It's not clicking for me. Mm-hmm. It just really isn't. The shooting, the abilities, the 4-player co-op type thing that's going on, it's not ringing any, it's not setting off any alarms for me. Setting off flags, I guess. Of like, don't do this. I'm not. No. I'm comparing it.
Or any other first-person shooter?
No, I'm comparing it more to. Well, the aesthetic of it gives me almost a Left 4 Dead vibe to it, but it's not. I don't know what I could compare that with. It feels like one of those 4-player. It feels like one of those 4-player games where you're playing against a 5th player who's the enemy.
Okay,
but let's remove that part.
like Evolve.
So it's just let's remove the part that the enemy is player controlled. Let's just say the enemy is it's AI controlled. So it's a 4-player co-op thing, which is essentially what it is. But I still don't. No, I don't know. It's not. It's something about it is not working for me. Mm-hmm. It's not Duke's in there. Is that? Can see. What does he say? No, it's like Gotham Knights. You have to go to a hub. Okay. Thar66 mentions Wild Hearts. See, they were in there. They were talking. I've been glancing at chat while I'm also talking. And they mentioned. They mentioned Atomic Heart. Was that the other one?
Atomic Heart. Okay.
Yeah, that came out this week. Yeah, Atomic Heart. Thar's playing Atomic Heart on Game Pass, and then I was like, "Ooh, what about that game Wild Hearts?" I think is what it's called. And I was interested in Wild Hearts. I read, though, the performance on PC is horrible. Wild Hearts is... it's another company trying to do the Monster Hunter thing, and I can't remember what the company is. It's not Capcom, because Capcom does Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure.
Konami?
Is it Konami?
I'm just guessing.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, Redfall's not looking good. I was interested in Wild Hearts, but I read some reviews on the PC for performance being bad. Other than that, though, I heard it was actually pretty good. It was a decent attempt to chunk off a piece of that Monster Hunter pie. You know, get some people to play this version. That's and I don't necessarily know what the difference is. It's very similar, but I don't know what like some specific gameplay differences are between the two. I'm sure there's plenty, but I don't know exactly what they are. Haven't really researched it that much. I'm not really in the buying new game things at the moment. Not big new game releases. Things like the Hogwarts Legacy or Wild Hearts or any of those things. Little things, like I had mentioned earlier, the Mystery Game Fest, which are a lot of indie things, Curse of the Obra Dinn, stuff like that. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Those are nice, you know, solid investment on something that if you're good, if you like it, you're good. Or if you don't, you're out $9 or $5.
Yeah.
You know, if that's the case. So anyway, yeah, I guess that's all for you that you've been playing, I suppose. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we'll jump into that state of play, and we'll talk about the Suicide Squad stuff and everything else that was shown. I think there might have been a few. Like I said, Destiny was going nuts with their marketing for Lightfall. They're hyping this thing. I've seen so many people talk about coming back to the game, and you know, how do I get started? In fact, Witch Queen, the entire Witch Queen expansion is free for this weekend. And it says all platforms. I don't know exactly if that's exactly true, because I was on the Epic Game Store and it was not free there. So I don't know. But it's free all weekend right up until they shut the servers off on Monday to prepare for Lightfall. So we got music here from, what is this? Asterigos? Asterigos is the name of this game. And the name of the track is called Smite. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this, he said. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from, we were just talking about it, Wild Hearts. This is called Sportail. Not a track I'm too familiar with. Not a game I'm actually very familiar with either. Just came out. Anyway, welcome back to the show. Yeah, so the Sony State of Play that took place. And let me scroll down so we can go. I want to give everybody their due as far as everything that was shown off. If I can find it. Yeah. Oh, hey, we got a Mortal Kombat 12 coming out this year. That was announced. Not at the State of Play, but Warner Brothers announced that. So, and we got our lineup for EVO.
Yeah.
The games that are going to be on shown off at EVO, Street Fighter 6 being one of them. So, Melty Blood was in there.
Yep.
What a
favorite.
Great name for a game. Melty Blood. All right, so what did we get? We got something called the Foglands, which didn't... the aesthetic looked nice, but I'm not too sure about it. It was for VR, I believe, actually. Yeah, they started off with VR. Foglands, Green Hell, Synapse, and Journey to Foundation were all VR games. And Before Your Eyes coming to VR as well, which is a game like that is perfect for VR because every time you blink, it moves time. Then we got the Destiny stuff, the big Lightfall trailer, and showing off some stuff. As far as Destiny stuff is concerned, man, we're moving ahead. Traveler's separated from Earth now. Traveler looks like it's gonna do something. I don't know. Big ball in the sky is gonna make something happen. So yeah, they're moving this story along, I guess, getting ready for the final shape, which will be next year's expansion, and then we don't know what happens after that. Chia, I believe, is the name of the game. I'm probably mispronouncing it. It looks nice. It had a release date of March 21st. That was what the trailer was for. You're a kid that can turn into any animal, and you can explore this island, and yeah, looks it's cute. It's cute. Showed off the PS Plus games for next month, which is Battlefield 2042, Minecraft Dungeons, and Code Vein. From who was it? The maker of Res Infinite and Tetris Effect Connected, there was a game called Humanity. There's a demo for that out right now. It's going to be on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and also in VR as well. That's an interesting looking thing. I don't know exactly what you do in it, but it involves lots of people. Lots of people. Then there was Goodbye Volcano High. I don't know what that is. I have no clue what that is. Is it based on an anime or something? I don't know. They're all like animal characters that talk and sing and go to high school or something. I don't know what it is.
And this looks like an anthro game about coming of age story or whatever. I don't know.
I was drawn in only for the fact that I was like, ooh, this looks interesting. And then the more it was shown, I was like, okay, I don't think this is for me. It doesn't look like it's for me, but I applaud the effort that they're doing with it. And they're not taking it seriously, I suppose, is what they're doing. Seems like there's a good story there. I don't know that it's a story I want to hear. I don't think it's a story I want to be involved with. But it's
based on what I'm looking at here. It just looks like a teen drama.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, because I think that's probably where that disconnect for me is. Mm-hmm. I'm not into teen dramas. But I think there's going to be a lot of people who are, and a lot of people are going to like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
seemed like that was. What is that? Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. I skipped through that. Baldur's Gate 3 reveal trailer. I started watching it. It felt very Diablo-ish, but I think that was the point because that's kind of they share some stuff in that regard. But it was still. Ain't my cup of tea in the game world, but it looked really nice, and I think a lot of people are going to be happy with that. I suppose I don't live in that universe, so I don't know. Wayfinder, we got gameplay from Wayfinder. Street Fighter 6 introduced 3 new characters. Cammy, Zangief, and the other one was Lily. What did you have any? Did you watch that? I guess you've seen that.
I've seen the trailer for it. I mean, everyone was hyped about the look of Zangief and Cammy, especially with her new attire and everything. And I think they're calling it the new Jacko pose, or stretch. taunt.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what they were talking about more than anything else. But yeah, I mean, it looks good, but my question is how it plays. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. I mean, I've seen people play demos and whatnot, things like that. But until I get
do they switch up
myself?
I mean, do they switch up? Does it play differently? I mean, does Street Fighter 6 normally undergo different?
Oh, the little tweaks here and there with the system itself. Yeah. That's pretty much all it is. All it is just learning it all over again, relearning things that you probably got in 5. Maybe some will come back in 6. Maybe some will be gone. Who knows? Like I said, when I get hands-on myself personally, I'll just have to learn from there. But looks okay so far.
Okay. Resident Evil 4 was shown off.
Mm-hmm.
The remake. Yeah.
Remake 4. Yeah.
The remake.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something
feel like picking that up?
No.
No? Yeah.
There was also a thing about mercenaries or something as far as that was concerned.
I'm trying to remember if Mercenaries was in 4, and I'm thinking it probably was, so...
I don't remember it being in the original release, the one on the Wii. Was the Wii or the GameCube? It was GameCube, wasn't it?
The original?
Yeah. I think it was GameCube.
I never had those systems. I just had it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And I believe there was a Mercenaries mode in there. Because, was it Ada, Krauser, Leon, and someone else I'm thinking there was someone else in there. Maybe I'm just going off of memory here, but I think there was a Mercenaries in the 4 that at least the copy I had.
Then we got to look at Suicide Squad from Rocksteady Games.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. It's an online all the time type of game. Doesn't matter if you're playing it by yourself or with other people. You gotta have a connection in order to play it. Redfall has the same situation going on with it. I'm never fond of those things. It's never turned out to be a bad situation for me in that regard. But I'm never fond of that requirement of you need to be online in order to play this game. Like, I get needing to have an online connection in order for it to like verify that you're playing the game or something, but I don't know. It's
the mandatory thing and things that could happen with your online connection that irks people, I believe.
I mean, I play a game that needs a connection to play online all the time. And if I run into issues or they run into issues or we have a bad connection or something, I get kicked.
Kicked, yeah.
So hopefully they've got some very,
stout.
I wasn't going to say stout, but a lot of save points. So that you can be in the middle of something, get kicked, and get right back into it whenever you eventually get back into the game. You won't lose or something.
Much.
Yeah.
Because if you make a lot of progress and all of a sudden, I don't like your connection, get off. Well, everything you just earned is now gone.
Says it's one thing to require an online connection to play online, and I don't think anybody has a problem with that. Likewise, I don't mind if games connect to the internet to get updates or add new events. However, completely locking the game behind the requirement of an always online connection is bad. Not only does this mean some people with lousy internet providers or no internet at all won't be able to play it, but also that it's very likely that if, or let's be real here, when WB Games and Rocksteady decide to move on or shut it down, the entire game will go bye-bye. We got a couple of games like that. We got a couple of games that are turning off the servers. You're not going to be able to play those.
Right.
I can't remember any off the top of my head, but because these were a couple of weeks ago when it was announced that they were shutting them down. Some of these not very old.
Yeah, I remember there was some game that came out. But it wasn't like under a year or so, and it just wasn't performing well enough. They just cut it off, didn't they? Just gone. Didn't even nobody knew. Just blindsided everybody who purchased or played it.
Yeah,
just gone all of a sudden.
And it's just shut down. And says this is terrible for game preservation. Also sucks if you spent money on it and it becomes unplayable. Also, this isn't the first time WB Games has included an always online requirement. From today's trailers and videos, it became clear that with its battle pass, gear score, loot, and heavy online focus, Suicide Squad isn't the game many Rocksteady or Batman fans want it. First off, did you guys not see this coming? I totally saw that. I mean, well, I don't necessarily know that I totally saw it, but from the very beginning, I was skeptical of this thing. Mm-hmm. I had my doubts, not because they weren't back in their old Batman ways, but what I had heard about it being a shooter and being a 4-player type game, I was, no, Rocksteady doesn't make shooters. But then again, maybe they did, and maybe they made a good one. I don't know. I'm really giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I don't know why I'm doing it, outside of the fact that they did really well with 3 good games. 3 good, steady Batman games.
Yeah. I would think the default action here would be to just wait and see.
It's going to have to be, but
wait and see how other people are
I feel like it's going to be hard to go in there judgment free. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I've already made up my mind, but I'm still going to play it just to be sure. Mm-hmm. But it's coming from some bias already. You know,
you don't want to watch a stream of it.
I'm all preconceived on it. I mean, I guess I could, and I probably will if there's no other way for me to experience it without paying the money to play it.
Yeah,
I'll probably just watch streams of it to see how it goes. Mm-hmm. I'll watch tons of reviews and that sort of thing to hear what people have said. I don't know, but it's not it's not appealing to me. Why am I choking all of a sudden?
Yeah. So I was looking at the video for it, and some maybe this is going to be explained in the game. I'm hoping it is, but there's some things going on here that needs explanation. Like, why is this character who's never done this thing before doing this in the game? Well, how is this even? I guess gadgets.
Right. That's the other thing. Yeah, not even that. Guy's called Captain Boomerang, right? He uses boomerangs as weapons. Well, in the game, he uses guns as weapons, and he uses a boomerang to traverse through whatever. That's how he gets around the city. Mm-hmm. Deadshot, or not Deadshot, or is it Deadshot? Anyway, again, he uses guns. That's great. Gets a jetpack. He's about the most solid character in the game.
I think that is Deadshot.
That does what he does. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Jetpack.
Like, this is what he does. It's fine. That works. He can hover. He can fire. He can shoot his weapons. This suits him. Doesn't necessarily suit Harley Quinn. She's doing some grapple thing and swinging around and doing whatever.
She's basically Batmaning.
Yeah, basically Batmaning
over the landscape.
She's Batmaning. Look out! And then there's King Shark, who doesn't need a gun. He's a shark.
Yeah.
He's brute strength and just needs to go and eat you. Right. This is it. They're trying to fit it all in there, and they were working. Rocksteady was working on a game, and I don't know how far they got into this thing before Warner Brothers told them to stop working on that and work on something else.
That's right.
They were already in production on something else.
They were past the point of
and I don't know what they were working on. I don't know what it was, but this game has been in development for many, many years now.
You know what it reminds me of? Crackdown.
Crackdown co-op, baby.
Crackdown co-op.
That's it. Yeah, you're right. You know, that whole cityscape, that whole thing. Yeah, that gives Crackdown's a good way to look at that. Yeah, totally.
That's what it reminded me of. So maybe they were making something like that, and then all of a sudden, instead of having these characters you already had, we're going to put the skins of DC characters in here, and then you just work with it from there.
Yeah. I don't know what game they were working on before Warner Brothers told them to stop working on that and work on this. Yeah. I don't know what the case was. And I don't necessarily know that it was Warner Brothers that told them. I don't know if it was a combination of them deciding to do this, or if it was something from on high saying, this is what we need. Yeah. They were looking at, I can almost positively tell you this, they were looking at whatever the trend was at that time, which a games as a service thing was going on at that time. That was, 5 years ago? This game's been in development for about 5 years. And the times, I don't want to say times have changed, but I want to say that maybe player habits or player...
the feelings about this.
The zeitgeist has moved on from whatever that is. We're playing other things now. We're doing other things now. We don't particularly like that anymore. But then again, I don't necessarily know that I ever like that. what this looks like is an overdeveloped, overpriced, and underdelivered Gotham City Imposters.
Yeah, but that game was fun.
That's what I'm saying. An overpriced Gotham City, underdelivered Gotham City Imposters, and whatever else the other overhyped. Maybe I'm not sure what I said.
Because that game overdelivered.
Yeah, Gotham City Imposters was great.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Remake that if you're gonna do a game. Yeah. Remake that one.
Yeah.
That was good. That is one that should have stayed around as well. That was really good.
Yeah, and make sure you bring that iconic little symbol of that dude dressed up as Batman.
I mean, for your Batman shooter, that was good. That was nice. That's right. Duke brings up Avengers. That failed massively. Mm-hmm. Again, these were all these sort of games as a service thing. Square Enix had the same idea of like, hey, here's the new hotness. We got to do these games. People going to put money into these things, and you'll just continue. And that was focused on in the trailer was like, hey, Rocksteady plans to support this game for years to come. You will always have more places to go and more enemies to kill and all these different things to do. You'll always have this stuff because we're going to keep adding content to it.
Yep.
That is, man, somebody save that trailer. Not that it's not going to be available in years' time, but yeah, because I think you'll get a good year out of it. Maybe. Depends on if they do some backpedaling or some changing or some shifting of the game before it turns into something different, or at least stops with the BS of what they're trying to offer after they realize it don't work. And I'm almost positive this thing is not going to work for them. It is not going to make them profit. And I don't know what Rocksteady is going to do when that happens. Warner Brothers will blame it on them. My guess. The way Warner Brothers has handled things lately with all of their properties, they will not take responsibility for it. They'll blame it on the developers, is my guess. So we are coming up on the top of the hour, and I want to get to Discord there because Duke Frucom has been waiting, and Chris is in there as well, and they've been waiting for a while, and we just got off on a rant. You guys in there right now, Duke, Chris?
Sorry, I don't mind hearing about the new Suicide Squad game.
I mean, you saw it, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, this thing was number one on my list for years.
It was?
He's like, well, yeah. I mean, I'm such a fan of the Arkham games. I'm like, okay, Rocksteady knows what they're doing, and whatever they come out with will be equal or better than what I've already played. I mean, they haven't really let me down yet. Until
they're about to.
State of Play video.
So they did. So you saw that and you felt let down.
Oh my God, yes. The gameplay, the arcadey gameplay, the gear score, the 4-player co-op always online, the battle passes, everything. That is not what I want in a Rocksteady game. None of that.
Are you going to play it?
Of course I am. I'm gonna do the 2-hour Steam thing. If you get
that's
2 hours
right.
to play.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, it's the best way to test drive games. You don't have to worry about anything. You play it as long as you don't play it for over 2 hours. You can return it for a full refund.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, can you? Are you? I heard kid in the background, so I don't know if you're about to be.
Witching hour is coming up, but yeah, I can probably squeeze in maybe another 15.
Okay. Well, we're coming up on a break, and then we'll come, and then we'll talk to you. Okay? Can we do that?
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Hang tight. Chris, you there? I don't know if he's there. Anyway, when we come back, we will we'll talk with Duke, and we'll go into that whole thing on the Suicide Squad. I want to spend the whole show talking about it, even though I probably could because of how disappointing it is. Also, I'm a little ragey on it, you know.
Yeah.
Because man, Rocksteady did. I know Lethal was in the chat room talking about wasn't the third Batman game not that great? There were parts that were bad. The whole Batmobile shoving things on you, I didn't like that. But they were still, I mean, compared to what we're getting, it was still good. So I was hoping for maybe not another Batman. I'm sure they're tired of making Batman games. But just, I would love to have seen what they were actually working on before they decided to turn it into whatever they've decided to turn it into. So we'll talk about that, and we'll come up with, what else do we have? There was a lot in there. Valve getting onto some cheaters there. We've got, that whole deal with Microsoft and Nintendo. That's a good thing to talk about.
Drama.
Yeah, well, it's not drama. It's just interesting. We'll cover that coming up here in just a bit. Got music here from a game called Pizza Tower. It's a weird game. Have I brought it? I want to say I've talked about it. Have I talked about it?
I haven't heard that name before. So yeah.
Haven't talked about Pizza Tower? Pizza Tower, I don't know. It feels like it's a WarioWare game, but also a Sonic game. It's an interesting... I haven't played any of it. I should have looked at that. I haven't played any of it, but it's gotten fantastic reviews on Steam. It looks indie as all hell. Just not the prettiest looking thing, but apparently the gameplay is amazing. So, we won't talk about it. Yeah. It's just something you should go look at on Steam. But we have music from it. This is called Put on a Show. We will be right back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from Dreamscaper called My Hometown. All right. Welcome back to the show. We got Duke Frucom there in the chat room.
Hey now.
How you doing?
Doing good.
Good. What do you want to talk about? What's up?
I don't know. I just, I can continue my commentary on Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, but
you're more than welcome to.
There's really, you guys said it all. There's not really much else to say.
I know. Yeah, we're just kind of disappointed in it, right?
I mean, just given what we had with the Arkham games and the storylines that we had with the Arkham games, I think what they wanted to do is go, bigger in the DC universe without having to do my theory is they were doing a Superman game, and WB DC was like, why don't you focus on some of these smaller characters which we can tie into like other marketing areas, whether it be like the comics or their movies or some of the shows that they had, like the Harley Quinn series, and try to build these characters up, which, we've done. Batman's been beaten to death. Superman's been beaten to death. Let's do some other smaller characters and let's go big.
Yeah.
And they picked a villain that you could only go big with in a game like this, that also had other characters, superheroes involved that they didn't necessarily want you to control. But I also have a theory that there's going to be a reveal where you can control them, later in the game. Like you'll be able to play either as Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
That would be interesting, but still, doing what? Shooting them with guns?
Taking down Brainiac things like tentacles and whatever he's infested in the city. moving, doing those types of things, and then maybe there's like groups of smaller, things that have been taken. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things you're fighting and punching in the state of play video, and it's not really even clear what those things are.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So, but there's going to be some kind of story involved. It's weird to see because the Arkham games have been so dark, like literally, like they've been lit dark.
Yeah.
So there's always this, Gotham Knight approach to it, but now everything's vibrant in like during the day, and you do see a Wonder Woman in the trailer that's not infected by Brainiac.
Right. I did see that. Yeah.
So we'll see, what happens, but I'm hoping for at least a good story, and if the gameplay is at least fun, it could be something to just kind of blast through, like I did Avengers, right? Because
you did Avengers, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, Avengers has two different ways to play it, and they screwed up big time. Not to get too far into Avengers, but they screwed up big time by having like a co-op game, 4-player co-op, that you had to actually beat the game first before you could do most of the co-op missions, which made no sense to me.
That's horrible.
So like I was playing, and if you have a group of people, like if you have 3 friends that want to run through a new title, that's great. You jump on, but then you have to separate. Like, so they tease you and like say, hey, you can play this one co-op, and then you have to do the story alone. And then so you disband your group, do the story, and then try to regroup for these co-op missions, and then do the same thing all the way to the end. So unless you've played through everything, that's when it opens up the game for you. So there's 2 ways to play. You can play it single player by yourself for the single player story, and then there's the end game stuff where you do the missions in groups.
Yeah.
But they screwed up so much in the Avengers game. It wasn't even funny. Like when they give you a Tony Stark mission, like an Iron Man, and part of the Iron Man mission is to defend a specific circle area on the ground. It's like I'm Iron Man. I can fly. Why is there a specific mission for Iron Man where I have to literally be on the ground and wait for Jarvis to like hack this computer to let me into this building? The missions were terrible.
Yep. No, I haven't heard. I have not heard a thing that was ever good about that game. Which is why they're turning it. They're killing it.
Yeah, it's going bye-bye this year.
Yeah.
Get a couple more months, I think.
And then it's done. So, I mean, there you go. There's a game that lasted just a few years, really. Maybe 2 or 3. I can't remember how. It may have been longer than that in my memory on time.
2020, I think,
okay.
is when it came out. So,
yeah. See, Suicide Squad's been in development prior to that. And then whatever was being developed before they started on Suicide Squad. So I feel like they started developing a game for a time that doesn't exist anymore. For maybe an audience that doesn't exist anymore.
They can at least learn from the mistakes of Avengers, and I'm hoping that they're paying close attention to that, because what really scares me is the gear score thing that was revealed. That implies that there's a grind associated with this game. And that's exactly where Avengers went wrong, because they wanted you to continue to play and keep playing. And they actually, they released an update that made it even grindier, right? Because people were like getting to a point too quick. And if you don't balance that correctly at a launch, you're going to lose a lot of people almost immediately. It's the same thing that like Division went through with their issues. But again, at least at the very minimum, the story needs to carry the interest for the players and let the gameplay and solid gameplay into the end game, if there is going to be an end game. So.
Yeah, it reminds me of Gotham Knights that released last year, where it was apparently supposed to be a games as a service thing, but they nixed that towards the end of development and turned everything around so that it could be played as it is now. You can still see elements of how this would have worked had it had, booster packs or battle passes or anything else. So you can see where that likely would have been implemented in that game, but it's all been stripped away because there was so much backlash on it being that way that you can see that somewhere in development they said, okay, we can't do that anymore. Make it just turn that aspect off and make sure that everything else follows, where they can advance their character without progression of however they had it before, payments or something like that, games as a service type thing. From what I understand, that's what it is. I actually have that game, but I haven't played it yet. Have it on PC. Bought it for a pretty good sale. Hey, to switch gears here for a minute, not that it's a surprise to you, but No Man's Sky is getting an update.
Yeah, and I've kind of done with that game. I mean, I beat it into the ground, but I mean, they just keep going.
Yeah.
And, I haven't really read into this update. What is it going to be? Is it going to be something?
It's called the Fractal update.
Ooh.
New ships and new features. So you haven't read into this, have you?
No. That sounds cool, though.
Well, then let's see. It includes the Utopia Speeder, a starship that skims across the surface of a planet at high velocity. There's also a Wonders catalog, which shows off a player's discovery records across planets. They can look back at past planets, looking at great heights and strange beasties. Then there's virtual reality that they're bringing into it. They're going to add it to the PlayStation VR 2. Let's see. It also overhauls the game's options for all platforms to include more accessibility features and customization. Finally, there's a new expedition called Utopia, where players work together to rebuild an abandoned solar system for the enigmatic Utopia Foundation. I thought you also got a pet or something.
Those expeditions are really fun. And that, by the way, that should be a blueprint for endgame.
Yeah,
stuff.
Shouldn't it? I agree with you.
Because that allows you to basically stop what you're doing with your own character in your own world, take a break, do this expedition where everybody is doing it at the same time, because you bump into people constantly, and you reach different check milestones, throughout the progress to complete it. But it like encourages, meeting other people or bumping into other people, which, if you've ever played No Man's Sky, you never run into anybody unless you're playing with a friend. Like it's just you. It's so big, and which is always funny to me when Bethesda talks about Starfield, and they're like, we've got 1,000 planets for you to explore, and No Man's Sky is like, hold my beer, I've got to the 6,000.
Oh, 1,000. That's cute. Yeah, they've got color grading and high dynamic range. They're doing some HDR stuff for the game. Utopia Speeder Starship that we talked about. PlayStation
Skimmer.
What does it say? Complete the full program of Utopia Foundation assignments to receive the exclusive Utopia Speeder Starship. This craft is plated with radiation-resistant armor and engineered with an aerodynamic profile for agility during atmospheric flight.
Okay.
What's another really cool update they released for it is the Steam Deck gyroscopic controls. They released that. I haven't played it on Steam Deck, but that kind of makes me want to try it.
You got a Steam Deck, didn't you? Did you not?
Oh yeah. It's awesome.
Which version did you get? Did you get the bottom tier, the mid tier, or the top tier?
The middle one.
The middle one?
I got the middle tier. Yeah, whatever that was. It was like 512.
Yeah, the 512. The 512 gig. Is that what that was? No. 512. No. How many?
I thought it was.
I can't. It's 512, but it's got to be 512 gig. So yeah, the middle version of it. I was curious about that because today marks the anniversary of. It's the 1 year anniversary of the first one to ship out, I believe. Steam Deck that shipped.
Already?
Yes, today is the year anniversary of these things going out to people. So,
well, I love it. It's expanded my being able to play a lot my library wherever.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I've been able to check games off that I've always wanted to get to. And again, it's perfect for even less graphic intensive stuff. Like the Telltale games, or just like some bullet hell games like Vampire Slayers. It's so good for that rather than playing that on a PC and sitting down with it.
Yeah, this was about an hour ago that the Steam Deck Twitter account released saying that Steam Deck started shipping exactly 1 year ago to get today. Thank you everyone for an amazing first year of all-in-one portable PC gaming. So, yep.
So the one thing I am looking forward to, you guys touched on it a little bit in the State of Play, was the Resident Evil 4 remake. And I thought RJ was a fan of the Resident Evil series, or at least had played through most of the core games. Is that true?
Yeah, for the most part.
Are you excited about the 4 remake?
Well, no, I mean, because, well, it still stands up pretty well as is right now. I mean, I could boot it up right now on my PlayStation, play it fine as is. I mean, other than the graphical update.
I don't know about that. I just played through 4 last year to prepare for this, the remake actually, and it was tough to get through. And I hadn't played it in over a decade before that.
So what made it tough to go through for you?
Well, it's dated in the sense of you can't it's over the shoulder camera, but you can't strafe with your gun out. You can't reload without your gun being out or aiming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's goofy. It feels less like a corridor or exploration survival horror game and more like, let's build all these maps and tie them together with doors, areas. So you can go in the next area, it opens up, enemies come out, you kill them, go to the next area, the gate opens up, enemies come out, you kill them.
Now, just to add, I don't even know if you know, does the remake fix those for you, or does a remake change that? I know it changes the over-the-shoulder thing because I know it goes third person, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be in the Resident Evil engine, so it's going to play almost exactly like the Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3, except with the added, there's going to be like a blocking feature with your knife, and they've kept all like the roundhouse kicks and stuff like that in. So I'd assume that there's going to be some stun moves, and then you can kick a guy in the face, which is goofy to me still. I think that was a mistake. It looks like they left all the cheese in from the Resident Evil 4, which I was hoping they wouldn't. I thought they would maybe keep it dark. That's the one thing I'm worried about now is kind of what they're going to do with the story, and all the boss fights look identical. And it's a little bit hard. It's harder for me to gauge right now because coming from the tank-like controls of Resident Evil 2 and 3, the remakes were perfect because it did implement a more modern gameplay.
I've heard nothing but praise on those remakes.
They're really good. And then taking a game like Resident Evil 4 and then remaking it is okay, but they should have done Code Veronica. They should have done Code Veronica first because that's another tank control game that people adore and have been clamoring for. And then if you guys played Dead Space remake, it's almost like, why remake this? It's identical to the original game, a 12-year-old game, right? 2008, a 13-year-old game, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is making it look pretty, which, by the way, it doesn't even look as good as Callisto Protocol. So it's almost like a step back, because Callisto Protocol came out in November.
Yeah, Callisto Protocol was fantastic looking, but horrible in almost every other aspect.
So that's what makes me worried about Resident Evil 4 is just they've kept the campiness in. The weird, enemies that you fight look like they're intact. They've changed a little bit of the aggressive nature of some of the zombie-like guys.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what they're called.
Los Ganados.
What is it? Say it again.
Los Ganados.
Los Ganados. Oh my gosh, I forgot that. But anyway, I'm skeptical. It's going to be a day one buy for me for sure. Though it's a Resident Evil game, so I'm almost obligated to play it through. But I was just really hoping that maybe they took it and kept it dark and less campy and action packed.
Yeah, I have nothing to say on it. I mean, I remember Resident Evil 4 from back, and it was GameCube, wasn't it? Released on GameCube?
Yeah, GameCube, and then people got pissed because 6 months later they released it for PlayStation 2 with more content.
It was originally, or they never gave an update, or they never gave a heads up saying like, yeah, it's going to come to play. They just released it on GameCube and didn't say anything, and then it got a surprise PlayStation release. And we're like, well, I went out and bought a system so I could play your game. And then I also bought a chainsaw controller.
But then they gave us Resident Evil 0, which did not come to PlayStation.
Right.
And that was almost like making up for it. And then the Resident Evil remake also, which I don't think it ever got a
That reminds me of Metal Gear Solid. It was Twin Snakes, I think, that only showed up on GameCube. Was it Twin Snakes? I can't remember.
Snake Eater?
Or was it? No, it wasn't Snake Eater.
Snake Eater was on PlayStation.
Yeah, I remember Snake Eater. Apparently, Konami's supposed to be doing a big revamp of the entire Metal Gear Solid collection.
Yeah, remake of Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Yes, the first, the second, the third, and I think maybe the fourth. No, I don't know about the fourth.
But a remake or a remaster?
Oh,
yeah, there's a difference.
I can't remember. I'd have to go.
It might be a remaster.
It
might be a remaster.
Yeah, it's a rumor. I'm gonna look that up for you.
I wouldn't mind it. I'd play it. Let's see.
Not Metal Gear Solid Tumor. Metal Gear Solid Rumor. Metal Gear Solid remake announcement coming in the first half of 2023. Metal Gear Solid PS5 remake announcement will be made before May of this year, according to a website that leaked its existence last month. Yeah. Rumor is Konami to go big with Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. New Castlevania in the coming months.
Everybody's jumping on the remake train.
Yeah. Yep. According to the show, Konami plans on having a pretty big presence at E3, which won't be hard considering nobody else will be there. So yeah, they're going to do that. As we keep saying, these Metal Gear rumors have been doing the rounds for a long, long time. Supposedly, Konami has been revitalizing the property behind the scenes, much like its reestablishment of Silent Hill. And so it's always been a question of when the curtains would finally be lifted. VGC video, whatever that is, VGC's website reckons this year's E3 could be the one where it happens. So
I forgot about the Silent Hill 2 remake that was announced.
That's right. You're getting that too sometime this year. I think this year is when we're going to be getting it. So
I got to run though, but I just wanted to say hi to you guys.
Always good hearing from you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I noticed you stopped by the other day when we weren't doing a show that week. So.
Yeah, it was like, I'll listen to it while I'm putting the kids to bed. And I was like, oh, no show?
No, I'm sorry. All right, man. Well, take care, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, see you, Scott.
All right, see you.
Yeah, I'll take care now.
All right, so...
Hey, I wonder if they're going to do this in Resident Evil 4, because I remember cutting the metal chain with a knife in 4. I remember doing that.
Was that just because if you had it, if you had something to cut with, you could cut the knife or the chain?
I just tried it, and all of a sudden, one swipe, and the chain just went blink.
Okay,
that was it, gone.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh.
All right, so what else do we have? Bungie won a $4.4 million lawsuit against a cheat company that was cheating in Destiny. We were wondering about that, if it was going to, what was going to happen. Not necessarily that they would win this, because it seemed easy enough that they would, but I think this is the same company that countersued them, and I can't remember what the reason for it was. Really dumb, whatever the reason was that they were countersuing them. Like, oh, you're not going to sue me, I'm going to sue you. And anyway, it didn't work out for them. They're now having to pay $4.4 million. I don't know that they'll be able to pay all of that, but they're going to be paying that. It'll put them under. Basically, is the case here. I'm not saying don't cheat in Bungie games, just don't cheat in games, especially the online ones. Like if you want to play a single player and download, what do they call them? They used to call them. Oh man, I can't remember. There used to be a term for like a cheat program that you would download for your games, and I can't remember. I used to download them all the time for my Roller Coaster Tycoons. So that I could have unlimited money and all this other stuff, because that's all I really wanted to do was just build to my heart's content.
Yeah, other than cheat codes, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not a helper; it's something else. I can't remember what it's called.
All I knew was Game Genie and cheat codes. That's all I knew.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was for your. Maybe it's a trainer. Maybe Bama Bryan says trainer. It could be one of those. It could be something like that. But yeah, you download these things. Yeah, I use Game Genie all the time. Cheat codes there as well. Game Genie was fun just to mess around with the game itself. Yeah. Not necessarily to cheat to win the game, but they would have make gravity, half, and it was a lot of fun just to kind of float around and shoot, or make it so that every projectile freezes in the air as soon as it's thrown or whatever. There were so many different ways that you could mess around with the game's code with a Game Genie, which was a lot of fun. Maybe a trainer is what you're talking about. I think that may be it, but yeah, single player game, sure, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Tomb Raider that you're playing and you want to download the thing so you don't ever die, go right ahead. Assassin's Creed, that's fine too. But if you're going to do it in something that's always online multiplayer, like a Warframe, like a Destiny, like a Fortnite or something like that, don't do it. Don't do it. They're looking for you to do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. And you as a player, don't do it either. Don't go to these places that offer this. Don't go to places that offer to get your character up to a certain level, but you've got to hand over all of your stuff so then get in there and do that. Please, God, don't ever do that. I feel like none of you even have given thought to ever doing that. But this is for those who may not even know it exists and stumbles on it. Just don't do it. Please, God, don't do it. Let's take a break here. And there was another game I wanted to talk about because it just released. Came out this week, I believe. Like a Dragon. Ishin, yeah. Yeah. Good reviews on this. Yeah. Really good reviews on this. But then again, most of the Yakuza Like a Dragon games haven't really failed. They've all been pretty decent. Now, within the realm of those games, you've got your goods and bads. But for the most part, apparently, they've all been really, really great. I'm tempted to try one. I haven't. I'm curious. They've made like 15 of them. I don't know. There's a lot. Yeah. So anyway, this is music from that game. It's called Before Dawn. We'll be right back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Recognize this at all? It's old. I don't know why. I don't know why I have to bring that up. You recognize this? It's old, like us. This track is called Pacific Coast, and there probably is more, but it's cut off there. It says Pacific Coast. It's on the Mega Drive. It's Road Rash.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think I really got into Road Rash for real until I got on Saturn.
Oh, really?
I played the ones on Genesis and Mega Drive, of course, but but I really got into it for when it got on the Saturn.
I was looking
the FMV thrown in there with it, and it gave a little more enjoyment out of it that way.
I was looking for music for something else, and this was on like the sidebar or whatever. Whatever I found had nothing but like gameplay. There was no music for it. And then I saw Road Rash stuff, and I was like, you know what? I probably haven't used that, so why not? Yeah, grab that.
Yeah, they didn't do too well with the franchise after that, though.
It didn't really hold.
Yeah.
It did not really hold. I'm looking here into my news feed here of anything that's come since I've actually gone through my news. The DICE Awards apparently happened today, I suppose. Let's see, what else? Hang on. Let me look here. Nintendo doesn't plan to attend E3. We knew that. Baldur's Gate 5 is not a PlayStation 5 console exclusive because it's also in the works for Xbox. What else do we have? So, wow. Selling 2 million copies in 24 hours. There is a game on Steam that is in early access called Sons of the Forest. It is a cooperative survival horror game. And it has sold over 2 million copies within the first 24 hours of its early access release. That's amazing. Wow. Sons of the Forest even has more Steam players than Hogwarts Legacy. Hoglegs, as it's called, peaked at 306,000 players today, while Sons of the Forest peaked at 411,000. Actually, 412 because it's 411,999. That's not to compare the two because there's no point in comparing them, obviously, but my God. Apparently it's doing very, very well, but that is just not a game I watched some video of it because I had heard how great it was doing, and I was like, no, that's not me, man. I don't do those.
At $30 a pop?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if it was, I'm sure I would have jumped into it already and enjoyed it, but I don't do the survival horror stuff.
Let's see. Sent to find a missing billionaire on a remote island, you find yourself in a cannibal-infested hellscape. Craft, build, and struggle to survive alone or with friends in this terrifying new open-world survival horror simulator.
Yeah.
Very positive ratings.
It's massively popular and very well received.
In-night games, limited.
Yeah. So congrats to them on that one. Going back to the DICE Awards, I was going to see if I had a rundown of everything, but apparently I don't. Outstanding achievement in animation, outstanding achievement in art direction, outstanding achievement in character, also in original music, also in audio design, adventure game of the year, and also outstanding achievement in story. God of War Ragnarok took home all of those. Other winners included Final Fantasy IV Endwalker for Online Game of the Year, Marvel Snap for Mobile Game of the Year, Tunic for Independent Game, Red Matter 2 for Immersive Reality, probably VR Game of the Year, Dwarf Fortress got for Strategy Simulation Game of the Year, Ollie Ollie World Sports Game of the Year, which is free on PS Plus for the next 2 days. Gran Turismo 7 Racing Game of the Year, Multiversus for Fighting Game of the Year. That is interesting considering we just had a story about how Multiversus has massively dropped. The player count for that game has just gone.
Yeah.
I remember when it released and it was a big deal, and of course I haven't seen like any of these tournament fighter places pick up on it. No one's run with it.
No.
So not there.
Who's going to out-Smash Smash?
Well, since Nintendo has taken away Smash from tournament play, you know what I'm saying?
Regardless, who's going to out-Smash Smash?
I mean, yeah, that's it. I would have thought it would have been something to replace that void in a lot of your tournaments around here, to put that in there instead.
No.
Since you can't use Smash anymore.
No.
But I guess not.
I mean, it ain't Smash. That's what people looked at, said this is not Smash.
It did well for a while there. I thought it was doing well.
Briefly.
But maybe that was enough for people to get their feet wet and realize, nah, I don't like it. Yeah. Vampire Survivors got Action Game of the Year. There's a game, obviously, that was almost built for the Steam Deck, by the way. Something like that would have been great. So yeah, and then we got, what we just said, Mortal Kombat 12 getting released. What else? Dead Island 2 is now coming out a week early. That game, I saw a teaser for that game at E3 when I was going to E3. I haven't been to E3 since 15 or 16. Mm-hmm. That game is old and just now getting released. So, yeah. What else do we have? The deal with Microsoft and Nintendo. This is an interesting thing, but it's all kind of hinges on Microsoft getting the Activision Blizzard sale going through, which is still not a guaranteed thing to happen. Microsoft finalized a 10-year agreement to launch Call of Duty on Nintendo platforms the same day as Xbox with full feature and content parity. In other words, everything that Xbox gets, Nintendo will get. First off, Nintendo, I don't think has ever had a Call of Duty game. I take that back. I think GameCube may have had one. But that was back before Call of Duty became what Call of Duty was, I think. But I can't remember. Call of Duty has never really been something that it's been like, oh, we're going to play on the Nintendo. It says Nintendo platforms. It does not say Nintendo Switch. It just says Nintendo platforms. Interesting word. This is reliant, of course, on Microsoft's deal to buy Activision Blizzard. So we'll see. This morning, Microsoft president announced the contract with Nintendo in a tweet, which initially appeared to suggest a much wider agreement to bring Xbox games to Nintendo gamers. To Nintendo's gamers, as part of the company's commitment to bring Xbox games and Activision titles like Call of Duty to more players on more platforms. So, that again, I don't know if that is contingent on the buy or if that is just, hey, we're doing this, and as part of this deal, it also includes Activision Blizzard. Should we buy it? Otherwise, you're still going to get our other, some other games. I don't know. I have no idea. A little too early to tell on that. To see what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with that. For EVO, our lineup in EVO, we got Street Fighter 6, Guilty Gear Strive. What else? Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Tekken 7. Tekken 7 out yet?
No, you mean Tekken. You think about Tekken 8.
Oh, has that already been announced? Tekken 8's already been...
Tekken 8's been working.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Obviously that's what I'm thinking about. King of Fighters... Do what?
Playing.
Oh, are you looking at it? Are you trying to look it up?
I'm looking up because it's been worked on and everything like that.
I wasn't sure which one it was, because I thought Tekken 7 was the new one, but I guess it's Tekken 8 that's the new one?
8's being worked on.
Okay. Is that the one that's been teased? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one with Nina shooting at people.
You're right. King of Fighters 14, or 15 actually. Melty Blood Type Lumina. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimates, and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Says that last one's a big surprise, but a very welcome one. For those who have been watching EVO and following fighting games for a while, Marvel vs. Capcom is an exciting series to return to the main stage. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All that plus the debut of Street Fighter 6 and the return of some well-established heavy hitters, and this comes out in August. Street Fighter 6 due to release in July. June. My bad, June. So good there. Division 2 Season 11 finally got a release date. That will release... what does it say? Oh, February 28th. Tuesday. Okay.
They fixed that problem we were talking about
Apparently
last time?
they did, yeah.
Okay. I'd love to know how.
It says, it seems Ubisoft has now ironed out the kinks and feels confident enough in the stability of the game to issue a new release date for Season 11. So there we go. Well, good on them. I didn't know they were that far along in fixing it and getting it prepared and everything else. So that's interesting.
A bunch of late nights.
Probably. Very likely. Anything coming out that you're interested in? Anything on the horizon?
The show.
That's right. Is that next month? Is that March?
Yeah, March. Late March.
Late March. I forgot about that. I remember we talked about the cover athlete on that one. Mm-hmm. I can't remember who it was, but I know Lethal Migraine had a problem with him being on the cover. Like, there's a lot of other people you could have put on there that could have earned the spot, and like the guy who's on there did not earn the spot.
Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah. That sounds like a screen name. That sounds like a gamer tag. Like somebody went online and picked their character name.
Yeah.
Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me. I know it's a person's name. I'm not making fun. I am making fun of his name, and I apologize. But still, on first hearing that name, I'm like, is that his online name or is it his real name?
Jazz Chisholm Jr.
Yeah, Lethal Migraine. He only played 65 games last year. Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. All right, you said no games.
He was, he's a youngster though. I guess that's what they're going for. Young talent out there. So that's what they do.
People don't buy it for whoever's on the front of the box.
No,
No. It's a nice accolade to have, but I honestly don't think it.
Unless you're Madden.
Right. Yeah, that's the Madden curse.
The Madden curse. Yeah.
It's a nice accolade to have, but I don't think it sells outside of fans of that one player or that team. I don't think it has anything to do with anything.
Yeah, you're right.
So, which is fine.
Because we're buying it for the game, not the person on the cover.
That or you're buying it for the digital download code. Because there's no game included.
But I mean, from what the salesman told me, Sony's doing that thing again. So I'm gonna have to do some research because PlayStation Direct says one thing, retailers are saying something else. So I gotta make sure which one. Are you
saying the actual just regular game?
They're saying
the special edition.
The special edition, from what the salesman told me, there's no disc in there.
And you want the special edition?
I want the special edition with the disc in there. But so PlayStation Direct says there's a disc in there. The salesman says it's not. So someone's wrong.
What is the appeal to the special edition? What is it that?
Because I bought them all last. Because I bought them all.
Okay, so it's tradition.
Yeah, this thing.
Gotcha. No, that's fine.
I want it. Yeah.
Trust me, I know well of tradition in that regard. Well, I've done it before, and I'm doing it with Destiny right now. You know, I keep buying all the special editions that come with the physical things and whatever. So, it's the only game I do that with nowadays. So
yeah. But I got two conflicting reports, so I got to do some research and find out what's what. Right. Because we want to deal with what happened with Horizon Forbidden West.
No, I agree.
Don't want to deal with that.
I agree. I know. I understand. I don't know. We got 10 minutes left, and I think I've run into pretty much everything there. I would love to go over some stuff, and maybe I will. Let's see. Let me pop into some forums here and see if there's any talk of anything going on. Steam Deck's officially 1 year old. That's right. Yep, we knew that. Octopath Traveler 2 released. I was interested in Octopath Traveler when it was announced back on the Switch for a long time ago, the first one, but never got into it. Now look at it. We've already got a sequel. So that's how far it took me to get around to playing it, which I never did. PlayStation showcased before E3 to set up second phase of PlayStation 5. It was pushed back from last fall because the developers were not ready. Let me look into this real quick. You clicked on the thing. Sony itself is saving its own actual good stuff for something else, which is what is happening here. They're saving their good stuff for the PlayStation Showcase that's going to happen before E3. Was supposed to happen last fall, but they kept pushing it back because their developers were not ready. But now that those developers are ready, they're going to have a massive show that really sets up the second phase of the PlayStation 5. Okay. Sure. That is the rumor. That is not something that is actually going to happen. That is just a rumor. So we'll see how it goes. What's going on in the chat? Yeah, Jeff Grubb rumors. He is right half the time. 50% of the time, he's right 100% of the time. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how that goes, if it happens. Lethal Migraine says that the Best Buy says the collector's edition just comes with a code for the game.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, like I said, Retail said one thing. PlayStation Direct says the disc comes in there. A piece of PlayStation 4 has a PlayStation 4 disc and a voucher for the PlayStation 5 version.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The disc is for the PS4, which is what I'll be playing it on anyway. And then 5 would have a code for the digital download.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
That seems odd, though. That seems weird to me.
Well, it seems odd to have a steel book and no disc, but we've had versions where that happened before.
Yeah, I don't mind that too much because sometimes I'd rather have Fallout 76 has a really nice steelbook. Mm-hmm. Game's crap, but but it has a really nice steelbook, and you can go to some of these stores like Best Buy, and you can just buy the steelbook for like $10. Mm-hmm. Comes with no game.
Yeah,
but you have a nice little piece of art, little steelbook for that game. So I'm actually okay with that in that regard. Mm-hmm. This one I have no. If the steelbook is just that player with the MLB, I don't know what the steelbook looks like.
No, this is the limited edition is the Captain's edition, Derek Jeter.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So it's a different person on the cover of the different editions?
I don't believe. No, the steelbook has it features Jeter as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember what the previous version was because the one I got with Aaron Judge had the same.
Lethal Migraine confirms exactly what you just said. He said he just looked again. It does in fact say PS4 disc, PS5 code. Mm-hmm. You'll be fine then.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Wait a second. If you get the PS4 disc, does that mean you can give me the PS5 code?
Yeah.
I don't mean that you would, but I'm just saying, does that mean you can hand out the PlayStation 5 code to somebody else?
Should.
Interesting. Or sell it. Make some money back. Mm. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I know Thar. Thar 66, apparently Fallout 76 is not crap anymore. They rent. Yeah, I know. Back when this was on sale, back when I could go in there and buy it, and I think you can still actually do that, but back when it was around, Fallout 76 had just released, but the steelbooks were being sold individually without the game for $10. At that point, yes. I'd just take the steelbook over the game. Speaking of everybody in the chat room, who do we have? AC Wraith, RJ, or that's you. Alicidra, I guess. Alien Gathering, another TV viewer. Bama Bryan, Commander Root, Drapsnat, Duke Frukum, Just Call Me Jury, Kata, Kayla 18067, Lara Craft, Lethal Lentil, Lethal Migraine, Not a Bot. I have no that person. Whoever's under Not a Bot, I am not going to try to pronounce. QNFGOGTKTLS. Stephen Van Dam, Thar66, and Unbanned Jury Lol. Well, I didn't know that Just Call Me Jury was banned. I don't think they would show up if they were, though. I don't know how any of this works. Twitch chat and all this stuff. So I might go play some speedrunners since you brought that up again. Mm-hmm. I have not touched that game in a while. And I don't know if I'll play it on the PC or if I'll play it on one of my consoles. Because it's been a long time since I played me some speedrunners.
Yep.
I was thinking about, because, me and Wendy were going to play Assassin's Creed. We're going to play Alan Wake, and she just really wasn't feeling that. What I forgot was, and I kept thinking about wanting to do it, but I just kept forgetting about it because we kept going into God of War and then some other stuff. Wolf Among Us. I want to play that again. With 2 coming out some point. I don't know when, but it's already been planned that it's going to happen.
Yeah, good little detective story.
Yeah. I think she might enjoy Wolf Among Us. We'll have to see. Mm-hmm. So I'd forgotten about that. I haven't looked at my Xbox at my Game Pass stuff in a while.
Yeah.
It's because every time I fire up a console, it was God of War to finish off that story. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards I was firing it up to play Alan Wake, and that didn't work. So yeah, I'll have to jump in on my Xbox and see what's going on over there. And look at some stuff. So we've only got about 3 minutes left here, and yeah, I just want to thank everybody for showing up, playing the game. Chris was in Discord. I don't know what happened there. And I guess he tried to call. I don't know. I don't get notifications, I guess, when I'm in a chat, because I'm in a chat room on Discord. So maybe when he tries to call, it doesn't do anything. I don't know. I'm not sure how that works. So, all right. Well, we have music from Atomic Heart that just released. It is called Hot Pursuit. I want to thank everybody for showing up in the chat room, as well as everybody showing up in Discord. Duke, always great to talk to you. Hope we do it again sooner rather than later. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Also, listening on the radio, thanks for downloading. I have fiber internet at the house now.
Oh.
So this show might be uploaded tonight, a lot faster than it normally is. I mean, I may go through and get everything posted tonight instead of my usual the next day, because I let it upload overnight type thing.
Yeah.
We may just go ahead and do it tonight, as fast as it's going to go. Yeah. Fiber at the house is fast. It's really nice. Yeah. And it's not as expensive as I thought it would be.
Nowhere near.
Nope, it isn't. So yeah.
And now, but now you can't go back, can you?
Oh God, no. Nope, not at all.
If there was ever a situation where you had to go back to what you were on,
right,
you lose it.
Yeah, no, can't be done, and won't be done. So yeah. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic week. We're going to do it again next week. So please, I hope you'll join us. Enjoy this music from Atomic Heart. RJ, thank you again.
You're welcome.
We'll see you guys next week.
Mm-hmm.